Hey everyone, today I'd like to share with you my holiday gift guide for musicians. I'm super excited about this video. If you're new here, my name is Elizabeth. I'm a classically trained violist and I run the blog lifefromtheviola.com. It's always linked down below. I'd love for you to check it out. So if you are buying a gift for a musician in your life and you would like to get them something music related, I hope this video gives you some ideas. I also have a blog post that corresponds with this video. I made a nice list of every item that I mentioned with pictures and links. There are also links in the description box. But the blog post is a nice place where everything is just written down, so you might want to save it for later if you do find something on this list that you think you'd like to buy for someone. I have hot chocolate, and I just got new glasses the other day. They're blue light blocking glasses in addition to my prescription. My last ones were too, but this is a different brand. So they reflect purple light. Yeah. Hopefully it's not too distracting. We'll see when I go to edit this. Let's start with some stocking stuffers. So not all of my stocking stuffer ideas are inexpensive, but they are small, so you could fit them in a stocking if that's what you choose to do. So first up, I have these playing cards that I bought for my boyfriend back for Valentine's Day, which now feels like years ago, but it was just the beginning of this year. So this is called rep decks. They make them for most instruments, and they're just playing cards that have excerpts on them, mostly orchestral excerpts. So this is what they look like. Let's find one that most people will know. Okay, if you've watched my practicing efficiently in a short amount of time video, you're gonna know this one. Please let me know down in the comments if you know what excerpt that is. So you can play regular card games with these, or you can go on their website and they have a whole list of unique games that you can play with these cards. So I think these would be a great gift idea if you know someone who's auditioning for orchestras, because they can kind of narrow down the cards to the excerpts that they're working on and then choose random ones and play those excerpts, and it kind of makes a game out of your practice. I think that would be a really cool gift idea if you know someone in that situation. So you can find these on Amazon. That's where I bought these. They're not too expensive, and they're just a really cool, unique idea. Next, let's talk about the necklace that I'm wearing. So this was a graduation gift a few years ago. It's a little alto clef in between two bass clefs, and I like to wear this when I play concerts with my boyfriend, who is a double bassist. Bass and, alto clef for viola. It's just a fun little touch because it really goes with our duo. Yeah, so you can find clef necklaces that are like treble clef and bass clef, or alto clef, maybe one bass clef. There are lots of different versions of this by lots of different makers. I linked the one that I have down below. So you can always get jewelry relating to someone's instrument or what they love to do. That's always a fun little piece for them to have, especially when they perform. For me, I like to wear this specifically for my duo because it directly matches with what we're doing. Okay, so my next little stocking stuffer idea is a pair of earplugs. So these are by Eardial. They're a pretty basic pair of earplugs. I don't know much about earplugs yet, so I would suggest, if you'd like to get a more advanced pair, to do some research. There are so many different options out there. It's a little overwhelming, but you can find so many different kinds. You can find unique ones for yourself. You can get them fitted for your ears. But these are more of a basic option. I bought them on Amazon. They just fit into my ears. I've used them so many times. I bought them a little over a year ago. Sorry if I'm talking louder, it's because I have earplugs in my ears. Yeah, but I've used them so many times in the past little over a year, in musical and non-musical situations. And as musicians, our hearing is so important and we really want to protect it. So if you know someone who might need earplugs, even if they already have them, it does not hurt to have a backup pair. So why I like these over maybe other basic pairs of earplugs is that they come with a cool little app. So you just open up the app, you can see the decibel level of the environment that you're in, and then it'll tell you if you should use earplugs, and if you use the Eardial earplugs, what the decibel level would be brought down to. So it's really, really handy to have that app, and it can help you, if you're a beginner to earplugs, to know if and when you should use them. Though I say if you think you might need them, you should probably just wear them to be safe. These have helped me a lot, and I really like just having them they're nice and handy. I keep them on my keychain, which I usually have with me wherever I am. So these have really come in handy for me over the last year. My last stocking stuffer idea is just little like instrument accessories that you can fit. So strings are pretty expensive. It depends on the instrument, but I mean, guitar strings are pretty cheap. Double bass strings are very expensive. So kind of the bigger the instrument, the more expensive the strings will be. So I use Ava Perazzi strings. These are probably about $120 for a set, I believe. So you only want to buy strings for someone if you know what they like to use. Strings are a very personal decision. It depends on what you want, what your instrument needs, just a whole bunch of different factors. So I would recommend only buying strings for someone if you can afford it and if you know exactly what they want. Though if you know someone who wants to experiment with a bunch of different string brands, it might be nice to just buy them a set of strings that they can experiment with. And then I also have rosin here. Rosin is personal as well, but not quite as much, and different people like different types of rosin for different situations. So if there's a rosin that you love, you could always send it to someone else to try out. So my next gift idea is one I've talked about before in my How to Protect Your String Instrument from Cold Weather Changes video. It is a silk instrument bag. Mine's from Carmen Bruna Designs, and I love it so much. It's so beautiful, and it really protects my instrument. So you can get instrument bags, bass bibs, cello and bass bow bags, handkerchiefs even on her website. She's so nice, and I really, really love her products. The stitching is very nice too. It's just so well made and so beautiful. I absolutely love it. It's a great way to protect your instrument, and it's handmade from Spain. So nice. My next recommendation is a nice pair of headphones. I don't have them with me in this room right now, but I'll overlay a video of them. You've seen me wear these in my third rigor practice vlog. When I played in studio, I was wearing these. So I think these are pretty good quality headphones. They're on sale right now on Amazon, so a bit cheaper than what I paid for them. But they are studio headphones, so they're not noise canceling, and sound does kind of bleed out of them, but I think the audio quality is really nice. And if you know someone who's doing like a lot of Zoom meetings and listening to music over the internet a lot, it's really, really great to have a high quality pair of earphones or headphones to listen to your teacher play or to listen to your students play. It's very important, and I do notice a difference in the audio quality between these headphones and my AirPods, which I love my AirPods for the convenience, but the headphones do have a nicer audio quality, and it is helpful in my lessons to have that added high quality of sound. I cannot tell you the number of times I've gotten sheet music as a gift from my parents, which I love that, and I'm gonna keep asking for sheet music, but I get both music, like pieces that I want to learn, and fun music. So if you know someone who enjoys playing music on the piano for fun or just anything like this, you can always get them like their favorite album, something from their favorite artist, like this for me. Or if you know that there's a piece they've been wanting to play but don't have the music for, you can always get them that too. So sheet music is totally an option. Next, I want to talk about stand extenders. So if you know someone who doesn't use an iPad but does a lot of gigs where they maybe have a bunch of pieces of paper music and there are no good page turns, stand extenders are a total lifesaver. So they almost double the real estate that you have on the stand, and it's just so helpful to have, especially if there's more than one person playing off of one stand. So this is just a nice little practical gift that you can get someone if you know that they never quite have enough stand space, or if you've seen them perform with more than one stand, maybe 2 stands or 3 or 4 next to each other. This would be a nice option. I'm sure they would be thankful for it. Along the same lines, my next recommendation is a Peak music stand. They come in a nice case like this, and they are just the best portable stands I've ever seen. Let's open it up. So, since 2020 happened, I haven't used this stand very much lately. Like, look at it. Compare this to a wire stand. It's so much nicer. So, I don't really have the space right here to get the stand out and show it to you, but I'll throw in a clip of what this looks like. So I've used this stand so many times. When I lived on campus in undergrad, this lived in my instrument locker, and then when I moved off campus, this lived in the trunk of my car. And I used it so many times for chamber rehearsals where we couldn't find enough stands in the building, or I've used it at gigs. It looks so much nicer and more professional than a wire stand, and it's so much sturdier. You don't have to worry about your music falling off from the wind. Well, you might a little bit, but not like a wire stand. It's just so nice, and they're so professional. They have these nice little rubber feet. It's so nice. I did get this as a Christmas gift from my parents a few years ago, which is, I think, why I decided to put it on this gift guide. But I think that these stands are just so fantastic. If you know someone who has a record player, I know that they're really in right now. You can get them vinyl. So this is my latest vinyl purchase, of course. You know, who hasn't listened to folklore in 2020? I mean, come on. Saved 2020. So, yeah, I bought this myself. But if I hadn't bought this myself, it would definitely be on my wish list. So if you know someone who has a record player or likes collecting vinyl, I have found so many classical records at thrift stores for less than $1. It's amazing what you can just find at the thrift store. Like, I found some of my favorite pieces by great orchestras there for $1 or less. It's so nice. So if you're comfortable going out thrifting right now, you can see if there are any classical records. If you know someone likes or loves a certain piece, then you may luck out and find that piece at a thrift store. It's so cool. And there are tons of things on eBay too. You know, you can look online and find records as well. I do like to buy them in person, though, just so I can see if there are scratches on the records or just any weird smells or anything that I should be worried about that, you know, you can't really look for online. If you know a musician who loves to read, like me, you can always get them books related on the types of music that they like. So this one I got as a Christmas gift a few years ago. It's called Music for Silenced Voices, Shostakovich and His 15 Quartets by Wendy Lesser. I'm a huge nerd, and I read this on the beach, but it was actually a really great read. It was interesting. It wasn't very dry, and this goes through all 15 of his string quartets, the history behind each one of them, and just lots of details about Shostakovich's life, which is just so interesting. You know, there's so much to unpack there. But I absolutely love this book. It's very expensive on Amazon, but I believe this was a used book, so you can probably find it used somewhere if you're interested in this exact book. Another recommendation is also string quartet related, but it's called The Art of Quartet Playing by David Blum. I did have to read this for a class this year, but as you can see, there's a lot of great information in this book. So David Blum followed the Guarneri Quartet around on tour for a little while and interviewed them about how they play, how they rehearse, just their thoughts on string quartets. And it's been so interesting to hear their thoughts. And a lot of it are things that I do, but I had never really put into words, so it's very interesting to read, especially because the violist in the Guarneri Quartet was Michael Tree, who was my teacher's teacher. So I heard lots of things that my teacher used to tell me, and now I know exactly where she got them from, which was really, really cool. It was really a great read. So there are 2 books on my wish list this year that I'm hoping to receive. One of them is called What Every Violinist Needs to Know About the Body by Jennifer Johnson. It looks super interesting, and it can help you prevent injury and develop the physical freedom and sensitivity needed for technical mastery. So I would love to read more about how I can use my body more efficiently and relieve tension and all of that. So I think this book would be a really great guide for that, and I've heard good reviews of this book. The other book on my list actually was just published. The author posted about it in a Facebook group for violists that I'm in, and so I went to the link and it sounds so interesting. It's called Notes for Violists, A Guide to the Repertoire. The author researched a bunch of different pieces in the viola rep and is kind of giving you a guide for how you can play these pieces, the history behind the pieces, notes about the composer. So this one sounds super interesting to me, and I'm sure it would be helpful as a performer and as a teacher. I can play the pieces better and I can teach them better. So I think that this would be an excellent book for a violist, and I think it's part of a series, so there may be similar books for other instruments as well that you might want to look into. if you're shopping for a violist, I really want to talk about Alto Clef Gifts, which is a small shop that I've been following for I think a few years now. But she actually just held a giveaway and I won a Rebecca Clark Viola Sonata mug, and I'm so excited to receive it because the Rebecca Clark Sonata is my favorite piece that I've ever played, and I'm just so excited. I've had my eye on that mug for probably years now, and I'm so excited. So if you're shopping for a violist, you are sure to find something that they're gonna like on her website. She has so many different little viola related pieces of merch. It is so cute. I wish I could buy everything on her store, but I don't have the money for that. So unfortunately, I won't. But if you're shopping specifically for violist, I think that you can get whatever you're looking for on that website. So most musicians have metronomes and tuners on their phones, just the apps, but I really, really love my real tuner. I don't know what to call it, but it just works so well. I don't know, I just love to sit this on my stand. I know my practice session is starting. When I was in undergrad, my teacher had a pretty similar one. It was also by Korg, but it was white. And she would always sit it on the stand, and then I'd tune and I'd hand it back to her. It's just always a very nice weekly ritual. But I just love my real tuners. I always use a metronome app. And sometimes I use a tuner app if I'm in a different room from this, or if I don't want to get it out of my case. Whatever. But some people swear by Dr. Beats, which are really, really fancy metronomes, so that's always an option. They are pretty expensive though, and a lot of apps can do exactly the same thing. So that's up to you, but tuners are pretty inexpensive, and I just love it. Plus, I wouldn't mind having an extra one of these so that I could leave them different places. So I think this is a pretty reliable gift. My last two gift recommendations are more for if you aren't seeing someone this holiday season, which I'm sure is going to be most of us, and if you don't want to worry about shipping something to their address. So these are kind of virtual options. So if you know a musician who enjoys yoga, meditation, all of that, I have two suggestions for you: Yoga for All Musicians and the Aligned Musician. They're two separate entities, I guess, but they're both fantastic. So Yoga for All Musicians is a woman-run yoga studio specifically for musicians, though I'm sure anyone can join, but the yoga classes and positions are specifically for musicians to help us mentally and to help correct things that happen when we play. They do offer gift cards on their site. They also offer merch, but that's not a virtual option. But if you know someone who already goes to their classes and would like the merch, that's also an awesome option. But they have gift cards for their classes that you can buy for someone else, and that's an awesome gift idea. They have a free yoga class every Sunday. You can go to their Instagram and their website for more details on that. But their free classes are really great. I love to go to those. So the Aligned Musician is run by Kimberly Hankins, who is a fellow violist, and I absolutely love her classes. I'm on her Patreon, so I do support her, and I just love her classes. She offers live classes, and then she uploads the recordings onto the Patreon, depending on what level you are. But the memberships do start at $3 for the most basic one, where you can access like short warm-up videos, just like little targeted exercises that you can do when you're warming up before you start playing your instrument. So that membership was really helpful. That's where I started, and now I think I'm in the community membership, so I get access to her live classes and then the recordings after, and it's so nice. I love the way she teaches. She also offers merch, and of course that's not a virtual option, but her merch is really cute, and I just love supporting her. Alright, so those are all of my gift ideas for this year. I'd love to make another one of these next year as well. I'm sure I'll find some other options out there, but for now, these are my ideas. If you have any other ideas, please feel free to share them in the comments. I would love to go shopping for others and for myself. But yeah, especially if they're small businesses, we would all love to support those, especially this year. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. I will definitely be making more content like this, and as soon as I get that Rebecca Clark mug, I am going to show it in a video, and it's going to be on my Instagram, and I am so excited. So let me know what's on your wish list this year, whether it's music related or not. I would just love to know. Please subscribe for more videos like this. Thanks for watching!